Tennis, German top seed commends hosting of PH Women's Open. Manila, German number 1 seed Tatiana Maria praised the organizers of the Philippine Women's Open on Tuesday night, expressing satisfaction at how the inaugural tournament was being conducted. The Philippine Women's Open, is super nice. I think that everybody agrees with me that the tournament seems to have existed for years. It is so well organized, said Maria after dispatching Frenchwoman Leolia Jean 7-6, 7-5, 6-4 in the first round at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. It is super good, hey. Everyone is super kind, she added. The 38-year-old received a warm welcome from the Filipino fans at the venue, which Maria also appreciated. Of course, the crowd has been amazing from the first day. The Rizal Memorial Tennis Center, is completely full, which is why I think players like me find it nice to play here, the world number 42 said. Maria had to dig deep against Jean, though this did not surprise the veteran. I knew it was going to be a tough match because I have played her already a few times. She is a strong player, too, she said after the 23-minute showdown. The conditions were also challenging because it was also humid, so we were both sweating a lot. A semifinalist in Wimbledon in 2022, Maria is hopeful of a deep run in the competition. As of posting, she is facing Tatiana Prozorova of Russia for a place in the quarterfinals. Prozorova eliminated Filipina wildcard Betke and Imana 6-1, 6-0 also Tuesday night. Tennis, German top seed commends hosting of PH Women's Open. The sun rose gently over the hard courts, casting long shadows that stretched like quiet promises across the baseline. By mid-morning, the air buzzed, not just with heat, but with anticipation. This was the PH Women's Open, and for one German top seed, it felt less like another stop on the global tennis circuit, and more like a story worth remembering. Accustomed to the polished venues of Europe and the relentless rhythm of international competition, the German star arrived with expectations shaped by experience. Yet from the first rally to the final handshake, something about the Philippine tournament stood apart. It wasn't only the quality of play or the smooth organization, it was the spirit that wrapped itself around every match. I've played in many countries, she would later reflect, but the warmth here, on and off the court, is something special. Those words carried weight. Coming from a player who had faced roaring crowds in Grand Slams and battled under the brightest lights, the praise was not lightly given. A tournament with a heart. The PH Women's Open unfolded like a carefully composed symphony. Volunteers moved with quiet efficiency, officials balanced professionalism with genuine hospitality, and fans filled the stands not as distant observers, but as passionate participants. Each point won was met with applause that felt personal, as if every rally belonged to the crowd as much as the players. For the German top seed, the atmosphere softened the sharp edges of competition. Tennis is often described as a lonely sport, just a player, a racket, and an opponent across the net. But hey, the loneliness faded. The crowd clapped for good tennis, regardless of who struck the winner. Errors were met not with disappointment, but encouragement. In that environment, matches became conversations rather than confrontations. Beyond the baseline, what impressed the German standout most was not limited to the court itself. Between matches, she spoke of the seamless logistics, the respectful treatment of athletes, and the small but meaningful details, timely practice schedules, attentive staff, and a clear sense that women's tennis was being celebrated, not merely accommodated. In a sport still striving for equal recognition, tournaments like the PH Women's Open play a crucial role. They send a message that women's tennis deserves the same care, spotlight, and investment as any other event on the calendar. The German player noticed this immediately. "You feel valued here," she remarked. "As an athlete, that makes you want to give your best." Tennis meets culture. Off the court, the Philippines revealed itself in color and contrast. The rhythmic hum of city life, the easy smiles of locals, and the unmistakable pride in hosting an international event gave the tournament a cultural richness that statistics and scorelines could never capture. For the visiting players, including the German top seed, the Open became an exchange, sport meeting culture, precision meeting passion. Tennis drills in the morning gave way to conversations about food, music, and local traditions in the evening. The event wasn't just building champions, it was building connections. And perhaps that was its quiet triumph, a model for the future. As the tournament progressed, the German top seed's game sharpened. Each match tested her resilience, drawing out the tactical intelligence that had earned her top billing. Yet win or lose, her appreciation for the event never wavered. In press interactions, she spoke openly about how tournaments like the PH Women's Open could shape the future of women's tennis, especially in regions where the sport continues to grow. When young players see this, she said, gesturing toward the courts and the crowd, they start believing there's a place for them in tennis. That belief, fragile yet powerful, is often the first step toward greatness. More than a trophy, by the tournament's final days, the courts bore the marks of hard-fought battles, scuffed lines, tired legs, and stories etched into every corner of the stadium. Whether the German top seed lifted the trophy or not seemed almost secondary to the impression the event had left on her, and on everyone watching. The PH Women's Open had proven itself not merely as a stop on the tour, but as a destination with meaning. As the sun dipped below the horizon on closing day, applause echoed one last time. It carried gratitude, pride, and hope that this tournament would retain bigger, stronger, and louder in the years ahead. And somewhere beyond the baseline, a German champion smiled, already certain of one thing: this was a tournament she would gladly return to, not just for the tennis, but for the heart behind it.